Even though reports have confirmed that Republicans in the House of Representatives are looking for a so-called off-ramp to get rid of the Biden impeachment inquiry they launched a couple months ago, they still this week held a hearing on whether or not to impeach President Biden, where they once again paraded in a bunch of witnesses, some of whom are very clearly and closely tied to Donald Trump. Others who, by the way, are actually serving prison sentences, so not exactly the best witnesses out there. But Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez seemed to kind of funnel the frustration of the entire nation into this hearing. And she called these Republicans out, essentially telling them, it is time for you to put up or shut up. Here is what AOC had to say. At this point, the story isn't the fact that the basis of this impeachment inquiry is wrong. The story is, why is it proceeding anyway? I have yet to hear in the chairman's opening the allegation that they are specifically charging the president of the United States with. I'm hearing about the Biden family. I'm hearing about this and that. I'm not hearing the specific allegation by this committee. What is it? It's not here, and that is the problem. The story is, when this committee knew they were working with falsified evidence. That is the story. So she's calling them out and saying, listen, we've been doing this for months. You've been investigating him for over a year. You haven't even alleged a crime that he has committed. You've just said corruption. You've said bribery. But you haven't laid out any specifics. You haven't listed an actual, U.S. code, that he broke. You've done nothing. You Republicans are engaging in an actual witch hunt. Trump always claims his investigations are witch hunts. No. This is a witch hunt. And it's a witch hunt that hasn't found any witches. So far, all you've done is manage to repeatedly exonerate President Biden. And AOC, like millions of Americans, has had enough with this. If you think he committed a crime, tell us what the crime is at least. But you can't. You can't even tell us why this whole thing is based on information that we now know was falsified, but Donald Trump pushed it to Attorney General William Barr, and that's when Robert Hur came along and yada, yada, yada. But the whole thing was because Donald Trump forced it based on information from a man that they knew was false, who, by the way, was paid by associates of Donald Trump. Yeah. That's a big part of the story Republicans have been ignoring it as well. But AOC wasn't the only Democrat this week to try to put Republicans in their place. You did have Democratic Representative Jared Moskowitz, who actually said, let's vote on impeachment right now. He put forward a motion to straight up impeach President Biden, and Republicans voted against it. He's like, let's do it. You want to impeach him? Let's put it forward. Here's the resolution. Let's impeach him right now. And Republicans couldn't even do it. So this whole thing is a farce. This whole thing is stupid. It is a massive waste of taxpayer dollars. And Republicans haven't even told us why they are doing it. Other than, of course, they want to hurt Biden before the general election. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.